Guys, I almost could not wait to get on here and share this devotion. I'm trying to set up. Forgive me, I'm in my car. I apologize if that's making anybody nervous. I know I have a very good friend who's very good to me and always makes sure that I am paying attention to the road. But I could not wait. And if you guys are anything like me, if there's something you need to do and you don't do it right away, unfortunately, oftentimes it doesn't get done. So today I want to talk about control, which is some of our favorite word. Some of us, our favorite word. So I'm sure God works on us all the time with control. You know, you hear it a lot, like, hey, we're not really in control, or release control, or I love to be in control. I mean, it's a very famous word. And I'm sure God has been working on me with control, like, over my life. But I wouldn't consider myself a control freak. Pardon me if that offends you, but like, it's not like a huge thing for me. Like, you know, I definitely have learned a lot over the years. You know, I have nieces and nephews that, you know, if they're doing something a certain way and I want it to be done differently, I'm okay to just let it go, you know? A lot of good leaders talk about, hey, if somebody can do something like 80% as good as you, just let it go, you know? And I like that philosophy because I like to be freed up to do other things. So it's not been like a huge thing, but definitely the last couple weeks, I would say, God has really, it's been kind of up in my face a little bit, and it has to do with like people that I love who are struggling and who are maybe going through a rough time. And, you know, of course, in my opinion, you know, I'm thinking, okay, well, if you would do it this way, or if you would do this, or if you'd say this, or if you'd, you know, work on, you know, lay down your pride a little bit, or, you know, just, I have all these great ideas of how my friends or my loved ones or, you know, whatever could be better, you know, and their life would be better and it would be more stress-free and less anxiety and stuff like that. And so God's just kind of been working on me lately because, you know, I'll oftentimes, like, if I have friends or, you know, people that are close to me that are kind of talking to me about something, you know, they'll say, well, if she would just do this, or if he would just do this, you know, and of course I'm giving them advice like, well, you know, the truth is that, you know, God's in control and he's working even when we can't see it. And, you know, God has to work with everybody on their own timetable, and we're all pretty stubborn, and, you know, God's working through free will and free choice, and, you know, he's got a lot to work with. You know, we're not always the easiest and most malleable. So here I am giving that advice, and what God has pointed out to me lately is that I need to take my own advice. You know, so if I have someone that I care about who is struggling with something and I have this brilliant idea of how he or she could fix it, I am a fixer, okay? God has kind of been working on me saying, okay, that's fine and that's great, but, you know, just like you tell other people, you got to let me work. You know, I'm working through their circumstance, their walk, their journey, their free will, their stubbornness, their pride, whatever the case may be. And he's reminding me to pray. He's reminding me to pray. And prayer is a lot more powerful than I give it credit for. It's a lot more powerful than many of us give it credit for. It feels like nothing. You think it's just words. But, you know, I really am asking God to open my eyes more to the power of prayer and to believing and realizing and knowing in my heart that it moves his heart. You know, angels are fighting for us, and, you know, there's just a lot going on, a lot of circumstances, and prayer, you know, it puts us in touch with God, and it gets us aligned back with him. It gets our focus on him. I've talked before about, hey, when our focus is on God, that alone just brings a lot of peace. You know, the Bible, God talks about it, Isaiah 26:3. You know, he's going to keep us in perfect peace when our mind is fixed on him, because then we trust him. So when we're focusing on God instead of our circumstance, peace comes. You know, because instead of worrying about what should be done or shouldn't be done, or what can I do, what can I say, what's the magic words, you're focusing on God and his majesty and his power and his ability. You know, and this is something I tell myself all the time. If God spoke the universe into existence, I'm pretty sure he can handle what I'm stressed about, right? So, just think about, what do you know about nature? What do you know about the human body? What do you know about mountains and oceans and snow and just all the, a baby being formed and born and growing? Like, there's so many things that you could just look around and say, God did that. And then you have to back it up and say, if God can keep that going and if God created that, then I'm pretty sure that he can handle what's going on with me. So if you are struggling with control right now and it's bringing you anxiety, it's stressing you out, you're thinking, if this would change, everything would be better, that's probably not the case. It might help, but the truth is that God deserves our attention, our praise, our focus, our prayer. Maybe just change our perspective and get our eyes focused back on God. Pray about things. Lift people up. I'll tell you too, this is a side note, I'm almost done. The more I pray for people, the more compassion I have for them, the more my love grows for them, especially if people are being difficult. But when I pray for people, I think I heard Joyce Meyer say this, it's really, it's like impossible to harbor negativity towards someone that you're praying for if you're genuinely praying for them. So I think that's a really good thing to meditate on and to focus on. So that is my prayer for us as we move forward. Release control, focus on the Lord and his boundless abilities and power and wisdom. Pray about things. Don't be anxious about things, but pray about things. Tell God what's going on, and he will give you a peace that passes all understanding. And who doesn't want that? Philippians 4, 6, and 7. All right, so make it a great day. Be encouraged. Know that you are loved, and you do not have to be in control. God's got it. All right, that's it for now. See you next time.